the DOJ decided not to have FBI monitor Biden's lawyer's search. Justice Department considered but decided against sending FBI agents to Joe Biden's Delaware home to monitor his attorney's search for classified documents, two sources told ABC News. So that's totally inappropriate. So Biden said, don't send FBI to my house. Of course Biden's going to say, don't send the FBI to my house. Who's going to send the FBI to your own house to investigate you for crimes? This is out and out corruption. The details first reported by Wall Street Journal. Oh, wow. Wall Street Journal news exclusive. Wow. Justice Department considered but rejected role in Biden document search. Officials opted for hands-off approach to leave special counsel's probe uncompromised. Uncompromised. So you're going to blackball the special counsel and yank the special counsel's resources and not give him what he needs and not give him anything and don't give him any resources. He can't use the FBI and we're not having anybody and just let's totally blackball this guy. There, now he's not compromised. What the freak kind of reasoning is that? That's like telling the bank robber you can see the money, just don't steal it. Right, guess. It's ridiculous. Lady Dee, what's up, Lady Dee? Is it true a sitting pres cannot be charged with the crime? Lady Dee, I think it's true that the Department of Justice has a policy that says you don't charge sitting presidents with a crime simply because the Constitution sets out a way. If the president commits a crime, the Constitution already has a process. It's called impeachment and removal. And so they say, just as department policy, you don't indict the president because the Constitution already sets out the way that the president is charged with crimes, and that's if there's an impeachment. Right, guess. But the thing about that is that when you're in a situation like this where you control the House but you don't control the Senate, you should never, ever, ever allow what the Senate will or will not do to dictate what you do. The Senate also won't pass a bunch of really awesome conservative House bills, like a budget defunding the 87,000 IRS agents. Should Congress just not pass it just because the Senate won't agree to it? No. The Congress needs to do stuff that's right. And if there's crimes and high crimes, they need to impeach Biden. Period. None of this, oh, well, the Senate won't do anything, so I guess we won't do anything. No. You impeach him not because you think the Senate's going to convict. You impeach him because it's the right thing to do and it needs to be done. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Like on Brokeback Mountain. Ace Man, what's up? Justice Department considered having FBI agents monitor a search by Biden's lawyers for classified documents at his homes, but decided against it, both to avoid complicating later stages of the investigation and because Biden's attorneys had quickly turned over a first batch and were cooperating, according to people familiar with the matter. So you literally bombard and raid Trump's home? You literally bombard Trump, like literally get a warrant and raid Trump? And yet, when it comes to Biden, you're going to say, no, we don't even need to be there. Nah, you can just check it out. Just check it out. We'll just trust you. Think about how absurd that is. Think about how absolutely ridiculous that is. Thank you, Lady Dee. Thank you, Lady Dee. Unless this is a long game to get rid of Biden, because why else would there be all these leaks and reports something is up? Well, exactly, Guess. And look, Guess, if it's not to get rid of Biden, like the fact that this is happening and the fact that this is coming out, if that underlying reason isn't an attempt to get rid of Biden by the Democrats, then for sure the way that they're responding to this, the reaction to this, is clearly designed to potentially try to nudge Biden and say, look, bro, you need to step aside. This is a warning. This is a shot across the bow to Joe Biden. I don't think the Democrats want to take Biden down over this necessarily, because you don't want to ever take your own guy down, because then how are Democrats going to succeed when the last Democrat in office freaking got taken down by scandal and corruption? Doesn't help your party. So what they'd like to do is just do a shot across the bow to Biden and get him to, like, if Joe Biden says, fine, I'm not going to run anymore, this all goes away. This all goes away and everything's fine. If Biden says he's not running, all of this stuff goes away. Oh, what's that called? Because the reason is they don't want to take Biden out over this, I don't think, because you can't really tarnish your own brand like that. But they do want him to step aside, I think. True, Altair. The DNC is for sure corrupt, yep. The lawyers didn't have clearance, classified docs, yet they let them find them and look at them. Wow, it's crazy. Isn't that TLS? That's absurd. Unless they give him the deal, you resign from office for health reasons, or they get him to not run again, or the people in control of him refuse, they impeach. Right. Right. You have to. He's interfering. Joe Biden is interfering in the investigation to himself. Joe Biden is interfering in his own investigation into himself. Justice/FBI decided to let Biden personal attorneys review docs to see if any were classified. Of course, who, if they had the power, would send the FBI to raid their own home on criminal investigation? In a criminal investigation. Tweet. Send now. Sorry, guys. I like to live tweet during my streams if you guys didn't know. Oh, man. After Biden... And then, of course, this is spin, dude. Biden is trying to spin this and justify this. Biden is now then trying to say, oh, well, this is... No, we just didn't want to compromise the investigation. So Biden is going to blackball the special counsel, her... If I could type. All right, how's this for... Okay, Biden is basically blackballing special counsel her, not giving him the resources he needs, limiting him, etc. Again, who in control of resources gives tons of resources to someone investigating yourself for crimes? I'll just say you, investigating you for crimes. Tweet. Send now. After Biden's lawyers discovered docs marked as classified dating from his term as VP at an office he used at a Washington-based think tank on November 2nd, the Justice Department immediately covered it up. That should be the line. The Justice Department opened an inquiry into why and how they got there. Opened an inquiry. No, they covered it up. The Biden DOJ didn't open an inquiry on November 2nd when classified docs were found. They covered it up. Biden's legal team prepared to search his other properties for any similar documents, discussed with Justice Department the prospect of having FBI agents present while Biden's lawyers conducted the additional searches. Biden's legal team prepared to search his other properties. So in other words, the Biden legal team got to go to all of his other properties and scrub them of corrupt paperwork before DOJ, FBI got involved. Whoops, undo. Oh. Thought I had the wrong there for a second there. What's this meme? Sure, we raided Trump's home because he had declassified documents. That doesn't mean we will just raid Biden's home because he has classified documents. Oh, that's a good one. Discussed with Justice Department the prospect of having FBI agents present while Biden's lawyers conducted the additional searches. So, in other words, they were going to the FBI, being like, hey, okay, look, we're going to look for these docs. Do you guys want to be here? We're going to try to see these docs. Do you guys want to be here for this? Nah, that's fine. So even like everybody involved was like, okay, the FBI is going to want to be there. The FBI, you guys are going to want to be here for this. Let's go. We got a lot going on here. You're going to need to see this. You're going to need to be there. We understand this is secure. And FBI is like, nah, we're good. No, you guys can just go get the classified docs yourself. Send them to us. Email them. Shoot them over via email. You can use your Gmail account. It's fine. Let's go. The FBI should have raided Hunter's home, the one he... Exactly, a long time ago, guys. A long time ago. There should have been so many investigations and subpoenas into the Biden's bank accounts and everything. Joe Biden is corrupt. We need his info. He's probably a massive tax cheat. Biden probably has millions somewhere that nobody knows about. Wouldn't you assume? I don't know. I just assume, maybe I'm crazy. Because if I was like the president and if I was like a senator for 40 years and I was like corrupt as hell and just dirty and slimy, I'd try to hide money somewhere. Duh. Of course they should have been there. If it could involve classified docs, the lawyer shouldn't have been able to touch anything. Exactly, TLS. Exactly. Instead, the two sides agreed that Biden's personal attorneys... Listen to this, dude. This is Wall Street Journal news exclusive that's been now confirmed by ABC and everybody else. This is now established fact. This is not up for debate. The two sides agreed that Biden's personal attorneys, not even like White House counsel or the president's attorneys, Biden's personal attorneys. Dude, you know what happened to Trump's personal attorneys? They got raided. They had their phones seized. They literally, they had their offices raided. Instead, the personal attorneys are allowed to inspect the homes, notify the Justice Department as soon as they identified any other potentially classified records, and arrange for law enforcement authorities to take them. So it's all Mr. Nice Guy with Joe Biden. It's all let's play nice, let's play nice, let's you guys just do it. Why couldn't you do that with Trump? Why didn't you just let Trump decide? Oh, because you didn't like the decision Trump's people made. Oh, okay. But you like Biden's decisions. You didn't like Trump's decisions on what was classified, but you do like Biden's. What the? Those deliberations, which haven't previously been reported, shed new light on how the Biden team's efforts to cooperate with investigators have thus far helped to avoid more aggressive actions by law enforcement. Dude, no. No, Wall Street Journal. No, this does not show how the Biden team's efforts to cooperate thus far helped to avoid more aggressive actions by law enforcement. No, these show the fact that Joe Biden is not going to investigate himself. This shows that Joe Biden is abusing the power of the White House to influence personal criminal investigations against him. Joe Biden is abusing the power of the White House to influence criminal investigations into Joe Biden. This is unreal. How is this happening in America? While they raid Trump and Trump's personal attorney, obtain all Trump attorney-client communications, etc., they let Biden personal attorneys conduct a search for classified documents and let Justice Department know if they found any. This is a corruption. Unbelievable, dude. This is honestly stunning. And then, of course, Wall Street Journal News Division spinning it like you wouldn't believe. If they find other documents that cover up other crimes, the lawyers get them first. Violation of the separation of powers, right? The media knew of the before the election, hide it, and then it comes out. Collusion at its finest, yep. Influence, interfering in elections, yep. Not just corruption, but a risk to national security. Absolutely, TLS, yep. Absolutely right. That's a great point. Joe Biden is a massive threat to national security. In the week since news reports first surfaced about the documents, the incident has drawn parallels to the discovery of a much larger number of documents at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home in Florida, which federal agents obtained a warrant to search in August. After more than a year of negotiations between Trump's lawyers, the National Archives, and the Justice Department, and after Trump's lawyers said all documents had been returned. So again, so Trump's lawyers say, "Hey, we got all your classified documents. This is all the classified documents. Here you go," and you raid him. Here, Joe Biden says, "Oh yeah, here's the classified documents. Here, yep, we got them all. Here, you go. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, peace." And that's it. That's it. Literally the same exact thing happened, and there were drastically, massively two extraordinarily different reactions from the Justice Department and the DOJ and the FBI. Goku Gaines, exactly. Goku Gaines, yep. For sure, guess, for sure. Biden won't comply. Trump supporters have accused Justice Department of a double standard in treatment. Biden supporters have pointed to the president's legal team's cooperation and swift moves to inform the Justice Department of the documents' discovery as a key difference. Well, dude, Donald Trump informed the Justice Department as well. That's why they were negotiating for a year before they raided. Before they broke into Trump's house. Mr. Biden has said he doesn't know what the documents are or how they wound up at his office at the Penn Biden Center, his Delaware home. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, who was director of Washington think tank from 17 to 19, told reporters Tuesday he was unaware that government documents had been stored there. Sure. Oh, I guess he didn't know, guys. Sorry. Yeah, he didn't know. Whoops. Guess I didn't know, guys. Like, how, in order for us to believe that, we need to know what these documents were, why he had them there. What are these documents? Like, Donald Trump, like, says that the documents that were at his house were, like, his documents. It was just from, like, his own mementos from his time in the White House type of thing. He thought they were his documents. And he had a different legal disagreement with the blah, blah, whatever. Joe Biden hasn't said, like, I didn't even know those were there. Well, why the freak were they? How do classified documents just randomly end up there, guys? I didn't know. Sorry. Just they were there. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Yeah. Classified documents in 3 different places in where I own it. So I just don't know. I don't know, guys. Classified documents in 3 different locations, all where I have control over them. I don't know. How do they get there? I don't know. I mean, who believes this stuff? Who believes this stuff? Oh, my goodness. Biden has said he doesn't know what the documents are or how they wound up at his office. So silly. Secretary of State Blinken, who was director of Washington think tank from 17 to 19, told reporters Tuesday he was unaware that government documents had been stored there. Discussions and Justice Department's willingness to let the Biden lawyers do the searches unsupervised suggest federal investigators are girding for a months-long inquiry that could stretch well into Biden's 3rd year in office. The discussions and the Justice Department's willingness to let the Biden lawyers do the searches unsupervised suggest federal investigators are girding for a months-long inquiry that could stretch well into Biden's 3rd year in office. Why? One reason not to involve the FBI at an early stage. That way, the Justice Department would preserve the ability to take a tougher line, including executing a future search warrant if negotiations ever turned hostile, current and former law enforcement officials said. Okay, but what you're missing here in this story, and you're acting, what this entire story is missing is it's literally talking about how normal law enforcement strategy works, and here's what they might think or might do or might handle the situation. But what they're missing is that Joe Biden's in control of the Justice Department and the FBI, and Merrick Garland is a corrupt person with no morals or no scruples whatsoever. So that's a pretty important part of this story that helps explain a lot of what's going on. Wall Street Journal News Division, you could maybe mention that. All right, let me read chat here. Bleezers, Elmo Official, what's up, guys? Welcome. So we can't vote these guys out. The Republicans we vote in provide no oppo. What do we do? Good question. I've got the answers. Senator Johnson pointed that out to Chuck Todd. Chuck was like, but Trump. Right, guess, right. Did you see, guess, my tweet about Senator Johnson proving Chuck Todd a liar got a lot of traction. I don't know if you guys saw how well that tweet of mine did. See if I can find it. These videos didn't do super great. 200 views, 196 views. Whoa, 3,000 views. Of course, the 3,000 view one is me doing like a... Yeah, 4,500 views on this, 47 likes, 9 retweets. Yeah, look at this one, though. This is the one that did really well. 5,000 views, 200 likes, 52 retweets. Look at that, 200 likes, 52 retweets. That's a 5,000 plus tweet. Senator Ron Johnson caught Chuck Todd in a major lie on Meet the Press today. and proved Chuck Todd as a complete fraudster and smear merchant liar. It was amazing to see. But it's like they're acting as if, well, normally the DOJ or the FBI may, they may not do the FBI right away because then that could help out negotiations. It's like, okay, you're talking about negotiations. What you're missing is that Joe Biden's negotiating with himself. Like, you can't talk about how to have good negotiations and how to have stronger negotiations when you're talking about Joe Biden negotiating with himself. Does Wall Street Journal not recognize this? Yes, the left-wing meltdowns on that tweet were epic. Yes, they were. I don't think the algo is going to let nearly identical tweets back-to-back all do well. Maybe not, Altair. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I think, Altair, I think the algo works, though. Like, If I tweet out like 4 videos that are like 60 seconds each and it's just me talking or whatever, like, I'm convinced that the one that does really, really well is the one that more people watched for longer, more people clicked on it, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's not just because, the algo said no to this one and yes to this. No, it's because one of them was a lot better than the others and people actually watched the whole thing. And so that way it got kicked in and started being shown to more people. So I don't know. San Francisco Reparations Committee recommends paying $5 million to black residents, supplementing income for 250 years. Yeah, I saw this. I don't get this, man. It's so far over my head. San Francisco Advisory Committee recommended paying out hefty reparations to the city's longtime black residents, including a $5 million payment per qualifying person and a supplemental income to low-income residents for 250 years. The city's African American Reparations Advisory Committee released a draft report last month claiming San Francisco's international reputation as a shining progressive gem in the West is undermined by its legacy of mistreatment, violence towards and targeted racism against black Americans. While neither San Francisco nor California formally adopted the institution of chattel slavery, the values of segregation, white supremacy, and systemic repression and exclusion of black people were legally codified and enforced. As such, the committee proposed the city make a lump sum payment of $5 million to black residents who are at least 18 and have identified as black or African American on public documents for at least 10 years. Residents must also meet at least 2 of 8 other requirements. 2 out of 8? You only have to meet 2 out of 8? I mean, this is so silly and just so stupid and just so unrealistic and so unfair and just so ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I get that, Altair. Maybe. I mean, maybe it was that. But I think the actual views, like 200 views, 200 views, 3,000 views, 200 views, 500 views, 250 views, like, there's a reason that they're all kind of in the same range. And then this one, which is kind of me making fun. This is a completely different video. This video of me is a completely different video where I'm mocking and laughing at Chuck Todd in the beginning of this video. So I don't know. Maybe it is all the algorithm. Maybe they didn't get fed up. I would assume that these videos during those 200 views that they did get, a lot of people probably didn't watch them till the end. I mean, that could very well be because it wasn't as entertaining because I wasn't mocking Chuck Todd. A lump sum payment would compensate the affected population for the decades of harms they've experienced, will redress economic and opportunity losses that black San Franciscans have endured collectively as a result of both intentional decisions and unintended harms. Group suggested the city supplement lower income recipients' incomes to meet the area median income of about $97,000 for at least 250 years. 250 years. Where are you coming up with that? This is so absurd, dude. Where do they come up with these figures? Seriously. They're just numbers drawn out of the hat. One reason, okay, I read that. Representatives of the FBI and Justice Department declined to comment. Of course they did. In a call to reporters about the investigation, White House spokesman Ian Sam said the president and his team were cooperating fully with the special counsel review so that it can proceed swiftly and thoroughly. The White House revealed on 2 separate days last week that documents had been located at the president's Delaware residence, as well as those found at a garage there in December. Part of the reason the new documents are revealed separately is that Biden's personal attorneys don't have security clearances to handle classified documents and had to set aside any material that could qualify as such. Dude, they're looking through the documents. They find something and see it's classified. Oh, this is classified. Oh, we can't look at it. Oh my gosh. We're not qualified. We don't have clearance. Like, do you see how stupid that is? His personal attorneys don't have security clearances to handle classified documents and had to set aside material that could qualify as such. Well, if they're setting it aside, they're handling it. That's literally handling. His personal attorneys can't handle it, so they just set it aside. You're handling it. By setting it aside, you're handling it. Oh, we saw it. Oh, we're going to unsee it now. Oh, we're going to unsee it, guys. We don't have the clearance. I guess we'll unsee this. Like, this whole thing is so bizarre. Richard Sauber, special counsel to Biden, who has that clearance, accompanied Justice Department personnel to retrieve documents when they discovered additional pages with classification markings. Attorney General Merrick Garland last week assigned a former top prosecutor in the Trump admin, Robert Hur, to serve as special counsel investigating the discovery of the documents in the locales associated with Biden. Justice Department officials were concerned that an FBI presence as the Biden team hunted for documents could complicate investigators' ability to execute search warrants or subpoena documents as the investigation proceeds. Some of the people said in a sign that investigators are considering the possibility of a grand jury investigation into the matter. Justice Department officials were concerned that an FBI presence as the Biden team hunted for documents could complicate investigators' ability to execute search warrants or subpoena documents as the investigation proceeds. How? No. If the FBI there, that makes it easier for them to then get what they need later on because now they have more evidence than they were there. Wow. Right guess? Right? Crazy. Do you think Biden will face any consequences? He might get impeached in the House, yeah. Mr. Hur is expected to begin his job as special counsel by the end of the month after he winds down his work as a defense lawyer at the law firm Gibson Dunn. Robert Hur has been appointed special counsel in the Biden documents investigation. Gibson Dunn. That's a good firm. I wonder if his profile's still up. Huh, yep. Wow, so he's a partner at Gibson Dunn. White collar defense and investigations, appellate and constitutional law, crisis management. FDA and healthcare, financial institutions, life sciences, national security litigation. Robert Herr is a partner in the D.C. office of Gibson Dunn, co-chair of the firm's crisis management practice group. Seasoned trial lawyer and advocate, he brings decades of experience in government and private practice, including service in senior leadership positions with the DOJ, to guide companies and individuals facing white-collar criminal matters, regulatory proceedings and enforcement actions, internal investigations, and related civil litigation, white-collar defense, national security. Prior to joining Gibson Dunn, Mr. Herr served as 48th U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland. Presidentially appointed and unanimously confirmed by the United States Senate, he served from 2018 to 2021 as the Chief Federal Law Enforcement Officer in Maryland. During his tenure as U.S. Attorney, the office handled numerous high-profile matters, including those involving national security, cybercrime, public corruption, financial fraud. Hired dozens of attorneys from diverse backgrounds to bring the office to its maximum staffing level. Counseled the AG on matters of policy, procedure, and management. Before that, he was a PAG, Principal Associate Deputy. How stupid. This is what Ted Cruz was laughing about on the pod, on Ted Cruz's pod. Mr. Herr served as the Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General. In the position of PADAG, Mr. Herr was a member of the department's senior leadership team and principal counselor to Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, assisting him with oversight of all components of the department. So this guy is literally swamp. This guy is literally the absolute... This Robert Herr guy is absolute freaking swamp. This is swamp to the swamp. This guy's been involved in D.C. politics his whole life. Mr. Herr is an accomplished trial lawyer, having tried 14 cases as a federal prosecutor and in private practice. That's really not that many. I've got partners that have tried a lot more than that. He's a member of the trial team. I mean, shit, I've tried like 4 already. He was a member of the trial team that won a clean sweep acquittal in 2016 for Vascular Solutions, publicly traded medical device company, in a groundbreaking federal criminal trial involving off-label promotion charges. More recently, in 2020, as U.S. Attorney, he tried and won conviction in an international money laundering trial. That was the first in-person federal jury trial conducted in D.C. during the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Herr served as an assistant U.S. Attorney in the District of Maryland from 2007 to 2014, where he prosecuted gang violence, firearm offenses, narcotics trafficking, as well as white-collar offenses, including financial fraud, public corruption, mortgage fraud, tax offenses, computer network intrusions, intellectual property theft. I just am not that impressed with, like, criminal lawyers that are prosecutors. Like, I don't know. I get it. Like, it's complicated. There's complicated areas of law and blah 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 blah. But if you're prosecuting gang violence, firearms offenses, narcotics trafficking, like, you're not learning how businesses work. We'll just put it that way. You're not learning how businesses work by doing that. Before serving as an assistant U.S. attorney, Mr. Herr served as special assistant, later counsel to Christopher Wray. Before serving as an assistant U.S. attorney, he was special assistant and counselor to Christopher Wray, then assistant attorney general in charge of Justice Department's criminal division. Christopher Wray? That's the same Christopher Wray that heads up the FBI now, right? Dude, this Herr guy is total swamp. Yeah, Christopher Wray. Was this guy an assistant U.S. attorney? Yeah, from 2003 to 2005, Wray served as assistant attorney general in charge of the criminal division in George W. Bush. And then he went to these guys all become partners at big law firms, King and Spalding. These guys all leave the federal government and go big law partner. Which I guess, why wouldn't you? So this guy's worked for Christopher Wray and Rod Rosenstein. I mean, I don't know how slimy and corrupt you can get, honestly. Working for Rod Rosenstein and Christopher Wray. I mean, Mr. Herr was also a litigation partner with a global law firm in D.C. where he represented a diverse array of companies. Mr. Herr received his JD from Stanford Law, where he served as executive editor of the Stanford Law Review, Order of the Coif, Kirkwood Moot Court Competition. Served as a law clerk for William Rehnquist, Judge Kaczynski. Received his undergrad magna cum laude from Harvard. Studied philosophy at King's College in Cambridge. Member of the Stanford Law School Board of Visitors. Appointed by Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, Mr. Herr serves as a member of the University System of Maryland's Board of Regents, which oversees the academic, administrative, and financial operations, formulates policy, appoints the USM Chancellor and the presidents of the system's 12 institutions. Wow, dude. Just a total swamp guy. Just a complete swamp guy. Look at this. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he worked for Christopher Wray and he worked for Rod Rosenstein and he spent his whole life in Washington, D.C. and he's just a normal, good kind of good guy. Just a smart guy. That's possible. Soon after the initial discovery in November, Garland tasked the Trump-appointed U.S. Attorney in Chicago, John Lausch, with reviewing the documents with an eye toward determining whether a special counsel should be appointed. Mr. Lausch and Mr. Garland on January 5th that he thought a special counsel was warranted given the many unanswered questions about the documents, and Mr. Garland quickly agreed, the people said. Mr. Herr is expected to grapple with legally and politically thorny considerations that could be reminiscent of those from the last special counsel related to a sitting president, potentially including whether to pursue in-person testimony from Biden during the 2017 to 2019 special counsel inquiry led by Mueller into Russia's interference. How much is this guy going to get paid as special counsel, I wonder? It's got to be a lot to pull him away from partnership at a big law firm. Like, how much was Robert Mueller paid? $162,000. A salary determined by the Department of Justice sliding pay scale, which is based on education. No way, dude. Robert Mueller paid $162,000 to investigate Russia collusion. Can't possibly be right. When special counsel Mueller took his new job in May, he gave up a law firm partnership in which he'd made almost $3.5 million since the beginning of 2016. Mueller's client list from his former firm, Wilmer Hale, reads like a who's who of America's most prominent businesses: Facebook, Apple, Intel, Sony, Booz Allen, NFL. Mueller was on the paid speaking circuit in recent years, addressing Goldman Sachs, charities, and lecture series. Maybe these guys are just so wealthy they'll just they'll go do special counsel just to say that they were special counsel, and they'll take 162. They'll give up a multi-million-dollar job for for 162,000. It seems odd, but maybe they do. Mr. Sams declined to say whether Biden would sit for an interview with special counsel if asked. Legal experts said an open book strategy could help shorten Hur's inquiry, keep it from dragging out. My goal would be to get everybody interviewed by Robert Hur as quickly as possible, not throw up roadblocks, not assert privileges, get this thing over with. Sure, dude. Hey, no, we're not going to assert privileges. Sure. Justice Department investigation into Biden documents comes as another special counsel is already deep into a parallel inquiry into classified documents at Trump's Florida home. Well, guys, I'm going to call it there. I'm exhausted. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll be on tomorrow night. Don't miss it. It'll be a real stream tomorrow night. I'll get started my normal time tomorrow night. Don't miss it, guys. See you tomorrow.